Remember the popping you in the head part?
You said about popping again.
Mm-hmm. Just so you know. All right. So today is very, very easy. It's not as easy as the rewriting thing. Do you think I'm kidding? Are you trying me? So, like, you're like 3 years old. I'm going to rub it in my hands, and I'll accidentally pop it, and then I'm accidentally going to have to get popped in the head. All right. So, what we're going to do today is we're going to solve square root equations, okay? And so, this is very easy. So the first thing, the first line, the front page, I skipped all the words. It's too many words. It gives me a headache, okay? So on the inside where the actual problems are. So this is the given equation. So what I have to do to solve a square root equation, I need the square roots on separate sides. They have to be separated. They can't be on the same side. So do you see this one? I'm going to move it to this side. They're on the same side. I need one to move to the other side. So if it's minus on this side, it becomes a positive on that side. And we're going to call that isolate the radical. We're going to isolate the radical. They have to be on separate sides of the equal signs. And once we have them separated, what's different from here to here? There's no square root. So how did I get rid of the square roots? I squared. So I'm going to square both sides. And once I square both sides, then I'm going to just have what's under the radical sign. So I have 3x plus 1 and x plus 15. So to get from here to here, I'm going to combine like terms. So I'm going to subtract 1, and I'm going to move the x's this way. So I get 2x is 14, and then I'm going to solve. So I get x is 7. Easy peasy. The only thing with square root equations, though, you have to check and see if your answer is correct or not. And the reason you have to do that, Mason, it's not on your phone, but it's up here. You're not on your calculator. You knew what 14 divided by 2 was. All right. So once you get 7, you have to plug it back into this original equation. And so when you do that, 3 times 7 is 21, plus 1 is 22. 7 plus 15 is also 22. Would the square root of 22 minus the square root of 22, would that equal 0? If the answer is yes, if it's true, then this is a solution. It's a solution, okay? Does that make sense? If you plug it in and the answer is true, you get a solution. So let's try the next one. So I'm given this equation. So the first thing I need to do is separate the square roots. So I'm going to move this square root to this side. But this time, if it's positive on this side, what's it on the other side? So this one's negative. Now I have them separated. How do I get rid of the square root? I'm going to square both sides. So what you have to be careful of is this. I have a 2 in front. What is 2 squared? 4. But now the square root goes away, right? So I get x minus 3. And then on this side, the negative 1 squared becomes positive 1, so I just get x minus 6 on this side. So I'm going to distribute. And I'm going to combine like terms. I didn't say, where did I mess up? Where? Oh, this. Didn't add right. That's a problem. So this is 6 divided by 3 is 2. Whew. Got to add right if you're a math teacher. All right. So once I get 2, now I have to check it. So I have to take the 2 and I have to plug it back in this equation. So if I do that, if I fill in the x with 2, so here I get 2 minus 3. What is that? Negative 1. And so that's going to give me 4i. Does that equal 0? No, it's not true. And what that means is this answer is called an extraneous solution. And it's still a solution, it's just an extraneous solution. It's not a real solution, it's an imaginary solution. So if you plug this in and you get a true answer, it's a solution. If you plug it in and you get a false, it's not true, then it's an extraneous solution. It's one or the other. Let's do another one. So these are the easiest of all because is there a second square root? No. So what do I have to do? I'm given this equation. I have to square both sides. Once I square, I'm going to combine like terms. And then solve. So my x is 6. And once I get x is 6, what do I have to do? You have to check. So 7 times 6 is 42, minus 17 is 25. The square root of 25 is 5. So 5 equals 5. That's true, so it's a solution. What would it be if it was false? Extraneous solution. Don't you? I think that just makes you sound smart, right? You learned about extraneous solutions in math today. How smart does that sound? So smart. All right, last one. What do you think I have to do first to isolate the square root? Move the 1. So subtract the 1. So now they're isolated. Now what? Get rid of the square root. You're going to square both sides. Combine like terms. And solve. And now what do I do? You have to check. So everybody check. What do you get? The top one, this one. At least I haven't had to yell. Mm-hmm. Hmm? There we go. Way smarter. All right, when I check. So is it a solution or not a solution? You all are a disappointment. 3 times 4 is what? 12 minus 8 is? 4. So the square root of 4 plus 1 equals 3. What's the square root of 4? 2 plus 1 is? That's a big fat true. It's a solution. So x equals 4 goes here, by the way. This is the solution. I know.